Just imagine the situation. You are getting into a HR room. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to hand over the resume to the HR, right? In that resume, everything is printed clearly. Your name, your college name, what degree you are currently pursuing, what are the skills that you have, what are the projects you've done, and what domain you did those projects. Everything is printed clearly on that resume itself. But still, they are going to ask the first question, introduce yourself. Why this question is being asked? Most of the freshers who recently completed their college and currently pursuing ones will always be nervous to talk to the person who they never met. I mean, 70 to 80 percentage of the freshers who didn't practice to give a proper self introduction will feel that nervousness, especially for the introverts and who have that fear of public speaking. The nervousness will be at its peak. To avoid that, you can follow one strategy. Before a day of interview, keep a mirror in front of you, talk to yourself, see how confident you are. Until you see yourself confident in the mirror, try doing that again and again. Create a script that's perfect for the self introduction with the skills included in that particular script. So, if you do this practice, you can easily tackle the problem of uh, giving a self introduction without nervousness. The company might be hiring for any roles, but the one skill that every candidate should possess is communication skills. They might be hiring for a data analyst role, data scientist role, machine learning roles, software developer, software tester, or a cloud engineer role, any role it might be. But you need to be fluent in English for certain reasons, because at college you're going to talk with your friends who know your native language, right? But similar to that, in a company where you're going to work, we'll get projects from foreign clients. They are not our native speakers. They can understand our language. It might be Tamil, Hindi, or any language. But if you talk in English, if you present your ideas in English, they're capable of understanding it, because English is a common language for every educated people in this world. So that's the reason the company is evaluating your communication skills. So if you're not good at communication skills, it's completely fine. I'll give you one tip. Start practicing from today onwards. Start thinking in English. The reason why I'm giving this as a tip is because if you enter a country and if you stay there for 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start learning that language easily. Instead of learning something with theories, if you start doing that practically, human brain has a capacity to understand that easily. Our brain is capable of understanding something that we see visual through our naked eyes. So if you start practicing on daily basis, start thinking on daily basis, it is going to get easier for you. Instead of learning English grammar, I'm not telling you that don't learn grammar. It's completely fine. If you're at the basic level, learning grammar will give you some clarity how to frame sentences based on past tense, present tense, and future tense. Apart from that, start watching 5 to 6 videos minimum, story based videos. Those videos created for the kids. So the language will be simple and easy to understand. That's enough. There is no need of using idioms and complicated words. If you're capable enough to present your ideas with simple terms in a perfect sentence formation, that's more than enough. So start doing from today onwards. Start thinking in English, watch 5 to 6 videos. If you are at a basic level, start learning grammar as well. You might be wondering why I added this slide. Time management. Should I really manage my time while giving a self introduction? Yes, of course. Your self introduction shouldn't be too short or too long. Instead, it should be precise, where it conveys the clear meaning of your self introduction. Add these important skills, like what are the skills you have. It might be a programming language. What are the projects you did? You added them in resume, right? Make sure you're telling the same skills and projects. Explain them while giving a self introduction. The time should be exactly around 30 to 45 seconds. With confidence, if you give the self introduction at the same timeline, it would be perfect, because in this time you can tell your name, your college name, degree you're currently pursuing. You can talk about your skills. You can talk about your projects as well. In this timeline of 45 seconds, spend 20 to 25 seconds for your name, your college name, your skills. The rest of the 25 seconds is for talking about your projects, which you mentioned on the resume. Okay. I'll be telling you in this video itself why I'm asking you to talk about the projects you mentioned on the resume as well. In this video starting, I asked you why HR is asking you to give a self introduction even after getting your resume in hand, where you mentioned your name, skills, projects, and all. The reason is to check if you're honest enough. So, while giving your self introduction, you should tell about the skills that you mentioned in the resume. You should talk about the projects you mentioned in the resume, explaining them clearly. So, they'll cross check with the resume that they have in hand. If you mention something that's irrelevant, they'll make up their mind that you're talking something irrelevant. It says that you're not honest person. So, that might create a negative impact. So make sure you're giving your self introduction with the points that is mentioned on the resume as well. It's very important. If you think you can add another project, it's completely fine. You can add some projects, addition to the projects you mentioned in the resume. But make sure you're talking about at least one or two skills or one or two projects mentioned in the resume so that it will create a good impression to the HR. Yes, you are good in that skill. You did projects, and that's why you're talking about that projects and self introduction itself. So make sure you're doing this while giving a self introduction. Follow this step. This will definitely create an impact for sure. Before starting your interview, make sure you read the job description clearly. If they didn't give the job description because you're attending interview from your college and some companies might not provide. So on that case, at least go through the website of the company, official website of the company to figure out what are the services provided by the company. So while giving a self introduction, try to add them as your skills. Even if you didn't do any project relevant to that skills or the services provided, add that at least as a skill in your resume. Just modify your resume according to their requirement. The projects is not compulsory. At least if you have skills, you know the basics. If you know the basics of doing something that's relevant to the company's requirements, it says you're the perfect fit for the company. So there are chances they might consider your resume more than your friend's resume or your classmate's resume if you do this in your interview. Try following this step. This will definitely work for you. I believe this video gave a clarity on what skills will be evaluated while giving your self introduction. As soon as you complete the interview, if you're happy with the self introduction that you gave, if the answer is yes, congrats, you did a great job.